Hello everyone, Ceri the Crafter here, that's C-E-R-I the Crafter, and today I'm here with a bit of an Etsy share for you. How about that one? So, just thought I've been shopping lately and I thought there's a few things I really love and wanted to share them with you. So, first of all, how fantastic is that? Now, this is actually from MAKI Stamps, that's M-A-K-I Stamps, but this is their butterfly, caterpillar and paper stickers. Now, what I do is, you can see there's the backing paper. I've already pulled the backing off that because what I like to do is instead of leaving it on the sheet, I then cut them into smaller pieces and I put them in my little tin of stamps, tin of stickers, and I love using this. Now, everything I show you, by the way, if you look down by there, there's a little grey V. If you click on that or tap that, it'll open up. I will put the link in the description box for you. Now, those of you who know me know that I like using MAKI stamps, but this was the first time I found MAKI stickers. And MAKI, if you're watching, please do more. These are absolutely glorious and I love them. So that was the first of my shares. Second share was one of my favourite people, which is Tracie Fox. I like Tracie Fox. I love junk journals. Well, literally love junk journals on Etsy. I use their stuff quite often. I like Tracie's stickers. I like her labels. I like everything Tracie, basically. Lovely creative person, and I love her imagination. So it's a two-piece digital download. So it's called Matchbox Minis Toadstools. Now, there comes in the kit 2 pages. The first page, or one of the pages, is this to actually make a matchbox or 2 matchboxes out of. And when you make this, all of the stickers after you've cut them out would fit in the matchbox, but that's not what I'm going to use them for because I again keep all of my mushroom and toadstool stuff in a tin, and this is actually a label from Tracie as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this out and keep it as a label, but then I'm actually going to stamp words into these and then cut these out, and these can actually become word stamps, a bit like that one there. Not word stamps, word stickers that are all labels I can use later. The second one, I printed this out onto 1 sheet label paper, so all I need to do now is cut these out, put them in the tin, and they're ready to go. You will find that if you print them on label paper, they look a little matte. If you print them onto presentation or matte photo paper, they're going to have a lot more pop of colour. So your choice, but that's that one. Again, the link will be in that description box below, guys. Let's put that to one side. Next on the list, right, this was a new digital from my friend Gayle Augustinelli, and we all know I love Gayle Augustinelli. Her Etsy shop is called Cinnamon Tea, so that's cinnamon as the spice, and the letter T, not T-E-A or T-E-E, but the letter T. Again, description box in the corner. This is called 1890s Vintage Prescriptions. I believe there's 4 sheets in there are. As you can see, I love this, love the handwriting, love the different colour palette actually, because I was going to print it onto coffee dye paper and I went, that's going to make everything look far too dark. But this is going to be great for backing tags, it's going to be great for collage work. So thanks very much. Do pop across and say hello to Gayle and across to see Tracie on Love Junk Journals. Again, link in the description box. Now the last one is also from Gayle, and I absolutely, Gayle, thank you for finding this one. This is Gayle's kit called 1907 Recipes. Now, as you can see, I don't know how much closer I can get with this actually staying in focused, but beautiful handwriting. It's already on an aged looking paper, let's call it that. I won't call it vintage because I don't know that it is vintage, but it's aged looking. Aren't these samples of handwriting absolutely exquisite? I mean, collaging or just using as a complete tag background. Now, I did take this and I did print it on coffee dye paper as well because I wanted to see what the drama would be between the two of them. So that's the original. And then I came in, and as you can see, I coffee dye paper printed them all. Now, I love this version, but I also love the other version as well. What I liked about this is that, yes, they're smaller than my A4 pages, but that still gives me option to use my spare pieces of paper for stamping words on. So I haven't wasted anything. I can tear those. So that's that. loving that. Again, this is Cinnamon Tea, remember tea, not drinking tea, by Gayle. So that's the last of those. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this video, change my setup, and I actually need to do some tags for a journal I'm working on at the moment. So I thought, let's make this as a little bit of a tutorial as well. So I'm going to do probably about 6 or 8 tags using the stuff from this, the digitals I've just bought, because that was the reason I got them. And then we'll see you there. So give me a few seconds, just need to go around, tidy up, clean all this, put the right mat down, get the glue book, get the glue, you get the gist, people. See you in a second, this away. So here I am back again. I've done a little bit of work while I've been off screen. I've gone and I've used my tear ruler, and torn all the white bits off the prescriptions and made sure that they're all ready to go, because it's not going to be fun for you watching me tear paper, is it? Unless I absolutely have to, that should all be done. Let's put that up there. I've gone through and I've torn both sets of the recipe sheets as well, and as I said, I've kept all of the bits I've torn off. I can either use them as collage pieces or things like strips I can stamp words into, should do in the future. What else have I done? I've cut up the rest of the stickers and put them in there. I've cut up the rest of Tracie's Toadstool stickers and put them in there. I've also, for future, I'm not doing it today, I've cut up all those little spare pieces, and those will become small labels once I've stamped words into them. I've done a couple of other things. I've got a digital of my own here. It's my own personal digital of a piece of fabric I really like, thought would go really well with the theme I'm going to be doing, which is toadstools and butterflies and stuff like that. Thought that'd be a really cool one to do. I did bring in a bit of music paper because I thought that will break it up a bit, because it could end up being a bit too dark. And what am I making? I'm using time cards. This is what I'm going to use as my template anyway, but this is the end result. This is the template. The end result will also obviously be finished on that side. I'm going to leave this as a side to be written on because I like that idea. So I'm going to do a few of those. I'm going to do them in the fashion that I normally do them. I'm going to just lay them next to each other and then go from there and stick them together. Now, I'm not sure whether all of this is going to be on screen as I do it. It should be, but there are no guarantees in life. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work to the best of my ability and share as much as I can as I go along. But if things go off shot, please forgive me. There is only so much space on my desk. I do have a glue book with me. Actually, I've got my old glue book with me. Pair of scissors, tear ruler, and a scrape of smoothing stuff down. And I'm using a glue stick, so I'll use that. Now, the stickers are actually sticky already, so I shouldn't imagine I'm going to need those. I think it just means I need to get on with it, really. Now, what I'm going to do is I tend to glue all the papers on and keep it as one big piece, and then when it's dry, I cut it up from there. So that's where I'm about to start. So let's start with a little bit of music paper, I think. Let's just put something in the background. And my first intent before I get artistic in any way, shape or form is actually just to secure the individual time cards to each other. So it's just so much easier when they're one piece. So just put that in there. Slide that up so it's to the edge. I can always trim later, obviously. Just smooth that down. So if I do them in pairs, and then I can actually go in afterwards. If you're hearing the cooing of doves, by the way, it's actually the wood pigeons. They're outside my window on my windowsill, and it is absolutely a scorching hot day here today. So there's no way I am going to survive unless I have a window cranked open. So that's what you're hearing. Okay. I shouldn't do all 4 of those in one go, I think, there. Now, I could have done them individually, but as most of you know, I like to do stuff almost production line. And once these are finished, I am going to sew around them. So if you're someone who doesn't sew or doesn't have a sewing machine, there are rubber stamps out there that you can use for a sewing effect. All you need to do is either go on to any of the sales websites, actually, whether it's Etsy, AliExpress, Amazon, eBay, just go and actually search crafting, stamps, stitching. That will probably get you them. I would say I would recommend some. We'll put some in a link for you, but I can't even remember where I got mine. I've had them that long, so it probably wouldn't be overly helpful to you. Just stick that down there. So I think I'll do one more bit of music. Let's put this one aside. Now, any sheets you see me taking off my glue book go over there in a box, and once they're in that box they get then recycled to other things later on. There is a playlist on my YouTube channel for things I do with book pages, but it's sorely lacking at the moment because I've been so focused on building the new website, building what else have I been building? Building my craft cave, building furniture, just basically building. So there hasn't been a heck of a lot of time for me to do a lot of book page videos, and also because I'm doing the Marguerite Miller challenge, that can be quite involved actually. I was quite surprised how much time that can take if you take into respect the time it takes you to hunt to the pieces. Time it takes for you to hunt down the pieces that you need to actually complete each of the prompts, which I can tell you is sometimes really tricky. So where am I going from here? Right, I'm going to use a bit of this, I think. So this was just a digital I made of a piece of fabric. Can't even remember what the fabric was on initially. I want to say it was either a seat or an ottoman or a chest or something like that, and it just really caught my eye and I thought, I'm going to use that. So I just popped it in my scanner, scanned a copy for me, and I found it very useful. There are plans in my Etsy shop to have scans of different texture fabrics for you guys to print off and use, shouldn't you have access to the ones that I do. So watch the space on that. It's, what month is it? I think it's July. I'm sure it's July. Is it July? It is July at the moment. And what I'm planning to do is, I've got no TV shows in September, October, November. I planned it that way so I can purely focus on getting more YouTubes done, getting my Etsy products back up and listing again, because it's just been chaotic here. And especially with the world sort of coming back to life again, I'm finding that I'm run ragged at the moment, which, you know what, I'd certainly be complaining if I wasn't being run ragged. So I'm very happy to be busy and working and getting life up and running again. So that for me has been an absolute pleasure to know that I can get things done again. So, but there's lots of part finished Etsy products, digital downloads, that I really do need to get back to, and I really do need to continue creating. I'm hoping all of that's in shot. I'm always very nervous when I do that, so things aren't in shot. Okay, right, now I've got some basics down. Let's have a look at what I really want to put on here as far as digitals go. Right, I'm fancying putting some of the pink in, and I quite like the green as well. I'm wondering whether I want to get, this is the one I was looking for, a couple of these pieces in, because that's just a plain background. Because what I've noticed is everything I'm planning to put on this page is pretty much got script on it. So I want to make sure there are some calm moments, should I say, within my collage. So let's just tear these up a little bit. These are a great find, Gayle. Thank you for sharing them with us all. So I look forward to more stuff of using of Gayle's. Gayle, how do I describe what Gayle does? Gayle does a lot of estate sales, or she did a lot of estate sales, and now that the world is opening up again, Gayle will, I can assure you, go back to doing estate sales. And in the estate sales, she has a great opportunity to find vintage finds, and she's very generous in that when she is allowed to, e.g. copyright and the like, Gayle will then turn them into a digital for the rest of us to enjoy. So thank you for that, Gayle. It's very generous of you, and thank you so much. It gives, especially me as a collage person, it gives me a chance to access stuff that we don't always have in this country, because some of the digitals she finds are very much American-based things or writing or receipts or checks or things like that we actually wouldn't have here in that style. We have them, obviously we have them, but we don't have the style that she has, and vice versa. I know that when I create digitals, that's one of the comments I get, is that it's nice to have something different, and it is nice to have something different. So how is everyone doing? It's absolutely stupidly hot here in Britain at the moment. I mean, I live in Cardiff, South Wales, and what day is it today? Today is Thursday. I did 2 TV shows on Tuesday, and I was driving back home after the shows, which is about 3.5, 4 hour drive, ballpark, and the air conditioning in my car just could not keep up with the temperature, and so I had to drive back for 3.5 hours plus with the windows of my car open, which I can tell you was not fun, and just hoping to goodness that I could cool down enough. Result, I didn't cool down enough. I arrived home very sweaty and disgusting, and I was like, just get me to a shower now. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and I was saying I think it's quite funny that we as human beings will complain about the cold, then we'll complain about the heat, then we'll complain about the rain, and then we'll complain about it being dry. We're never satisfied, are we? Absolutely never, ever satisfied. So, but hey ho, I complain just as much as everyone else, so I've got no right to stand on my moral soapbox. I am, however, a spring and autumn person. I don't like the extreme heat, and I do not like the extreme cold. And actually, I think with the extreme cold, it isn't so much the cold, it's the inconvenience of the ice and the snow that it puts upon you. So, just a personal view. So, I know there's a lot of people far worse than I am out there. I've got a friend who lives in Palm Springs, Oliver, and currently, well, I just took a lunch break as well when I was cutting these things, and he's just posted that it's 50 for him, which is way in excess of 100 degrees for us. Depends on what scale you're on, but anyway, it's darn hot, let's put it that way. So he says he loves the heat, however, there's heat and there's heat. So the complex he lives in does have a swimming pool, but he's saying to be able to get to the swimming pool, he's got to go through the open air, which makes me laugh. Of course, you've got to go through the open air, Ollie, but it's not fun. He said it's just become unbearable. My problem in this weather or this heat is actually the fact that I just don't sleep, and I desperately need to sleep, and I don't sleep, and it's even worse because I work 2 night shifts a week, and on those night shifts, of course, I'd love to say I get to sleep during the day, but I don't get to sleep during the day, because of course I'm coming home and going to bed at about 8:30 in the morning, and by then the sun is already starting to rise, and then I just wake up in a pool of sweat. How attractive is that? So there you go. Enough of my moaning and whinging and whining. So let's see what's happening here in Britain. As you heard me say, I did 2 TV shows this week for Create Craft the Shopping channel. Pleased to say they were a huge success, lots and lots of sellouts. Mind you, it was a lovely product range, and the designer Heather Robertson had done a fabulous job with the silicone mould she developed for the show, which I was very happy to be promoting. The thing that gets me though is all the TV shows lately being Christmas TV shows, because of course the craft world has to start creating quite a way in advance for the seasons of Christmas and stuff. So it seems weird. I've been doing Christmas shows now since June, so it just feels a bit peculiar to me to be doing it. And I can't say that I'm a huge Christmas person to start with. I mean, I do like Christmas, but for some reason it doesn't always float my boat, let's put it that way. Right, let's pull in some of these now. I think I want to do a page of this or a piece of this across a few of them. And then I might do some coffee dyed as well. And then at that point, we might actually be at the point where we're ready to decorate. I'm not sure. So let's put this one on and then I'll do the darker one. What else is going on in my life? You're asking me. That's what I want to know. What is going on in my life? So done the TV shows. I'm still working at the grocery store 2 nights a week. And to be honest with you, even though I have my own business and work freelance on top of that, I think I'm always going to keep that job because it's nice to have some financial stability. And when you're a freelancer and you run a business, it's always a bit hit and miss as to, is there going to be enough money coming in for the next set of bills? So what I've worked out is doing the 2 shifts in the grocery store a week actually gives me enough funds to never have to worry about my bills again, because it amply covers my outgoings per month. So I'm very lucky to have the job, and yes, it's a physical job, but you know what? I'm all right with that. I'm okay about doing that until I can no longer do it, obviously. So let's see what else is going on. On the 19th of July, which was last Monday, I believe it was, or was it this Monday gone? This Monday gone. The British government for England started relaxing some of the COVID rules and regulations. So how do I feel about that? I'm not actually sure how I feel about that. I think we're being very quick to go back to normal, and I'm like, is it over? I don't think it is. No one's let the virus know that it's no longer out there. I mean, there are variants out there. We're still having a rise in COVID sicknesses. It's all there. It's just, I think, to be honest, we're just trying to get the economy back to some sort of starting block, and we all know the virus is not going away. So what's the point in being in lockdown and being terrified to meet people when, to be honest with you, if it's going to be here, let's just find a way of moving forward. And that's what I'm hopefully trying to do. I'm a little saddened this week because I'm supposed to be in Fort Worth, Texas this week at a cake convention for the International Cake Exploration Society, which I'm a member of. But it's not going to happen. Obviously, it's not going to happen because it's already happening and I'm still here. I can't even apply for travel permissions from America at the moment because we here in Britain have to have what's called an ESTA to be able to travel to America. It's like a visa waiver. And mine ran out, funnily enough, about 3 weeks before the virus hit. Now, if I'd have been sensible, which I wasn't being sensible, obviously, and applied for my visa back then, I would have still had one. But in saying that, I still wouldn't been able to travel anyway, because if I understand the government correctly, you can only travel for emergency business reasons. You can only travel for business reasons, or you can travel for family emergency reasons. Obviously, the holiday is not going to happen, or vacations to the States for quite a while. And the American government has pretty much closed down our visa applications, as I said, so we can't actually apply to go anywhere anyway. So, what do I want to put that? Do I want to put that on there? Oh, I've got a piece I don't know what to do with people. Let's just put you right across there. So I'm hoping things will start to get back to normal. I've sort of written off 2020 as I wrote off. I've written off 2021 as I wrote off 2020. But I really would like life to start back again in some earnest for 2022. I do have bookings and I do have students who pay deposits for classes and I really want to get back to teaching them. I've got venues trying to book me for stuff, but I can't give them an answer because there's no answer I can give. Does that make sense? Let's tear this down a little bit further. So there's no answer I can actually give. So never mind. It will all come true in the end. I mean, in my lifetime alone, I know we've been through several medical catastrophes, I would like to call them, and we've got through them and we've got over them and we're now living with them. Like polio, I think we've got rid of polio now, haven't we? Let's see, what else is it? Oh, the whole AIDS virus thing, that when that first came out, it was a huge thing. Now, yes, people are still out there suffering from it, but the medical advances are such that getting AIDS is not always a death sentence. And that's good news. I mean, medical people are making advances with research and that. A lot of it is down to what funding have they got, what can they do with what funding they've got, and how far can they take it. Okay, right, looking at this, I need to put some plain bits in now, and I think this is why I'm going to reach for some of the coffee dye stuff I had. Now, the coffee dye stuff on the other side is a little bit paler, and I think I want to start pulling in a little bit of paleness into this because I am finding this is airing towards a little bit dark for me. Now, I don't mind because, as we know, this is going to be about mushrooms, and I'm probably going to end up putting vintage photo on a lot of the edges of this, depending on what the tag looks like when it's done. So I don't mind it looking slightly grungy, I just don't want it to look dark and dingy. So let's pop this piece in here, because I want to be able to put pieces on here, e.g. the stickers and the labels and all of that, without them being lost in the background. So I very often talk about things needing a bit of visual quiet or visual calm on especially collage, because we stick things down and enjoy sticking things down, and then all of a sudden we look at it and go, oh, that's very busy, isn't it? So it is important to structure within it a bit of downtime, a bit of calmness, which is what I'm hoping this laid in. Now, I do have coffee dyed underneath, obviously, so I could have just left spaces, but that's not really the way I do it. So let's do a little bit more of this in there. So see. So it was, I don't normally do Etsy share type stuff. It was quite nice to be able to share the talents of Gayle and MAKI and Tracie Fox. So I think I might be doing a few more Etsy shares in the future. I did debate whether this would actually be falling under the criteria of a product review, because I do product reviews, but I don't feel this is a product review. This is just sharing my love of basically these designers and these products. So I'm okay with that. So I didn't really want to. I don't think I want to create a new playlist either for Etsy shares, because otherwise it's going to be a playlist for every darn thing, and there's going to be one video in each playlist. So I need to make sure that I actually do have enough videos before I create a playlist for something. Right, let's put that little bit up. Don't put that there. I try not to put things right on the edge, and I think that'll be too much on the edge. Where can this piece go? No. Let's put you up there, actually. So never throw away your strips, guys. They're always useful. As I said, I will be making labels out of the other bits of the strips, because why wouldn't I? Absolutely, why wouldn't I? What else can I tell you? Has Tracie Fox done a challenge? I think Tracie Fox has created a challenge for this year. I'm sort of losing track of this year for some reason. There appears to be a lot of challenges on the go. So I need to get a bit of a wet wipe because you know what? Oh, my fingers are getting really sticky. There seems to be a lot of challenges this year. And it could be that I've only just started noticing them and they've always been there. Or pretty much I haven't noticed them because they haven't been there. So I'm tending to notice them more, I think. And as you know, I am doing one. I'm doing the Marguerite Miller Challenge. And yes, if you look in the playlists, there is a Marguerite Miller Challenge. I want to say, I think we're up to week 31. I think I like that pink. I was looking to see if there's another bit of that green because I like that green. And I don't think there is. I was going to try and not pull in any other digitals, but I might have to look for another bit of paper. Let's just rough edge these. So I know that Roxy Creations Rachel from Roxy Creations has got challenges going. I can't remember for the life of me whether Tracie has. I tend to not do more than one challenge a year because it's a nice idea for me to do more than one a year, but the problem is, in all honesty, I struggle doing one challenge a year, especially if it's a weekly challenge, like the one I'm doing at the moment is a weekly challenge. So I'm doing it and I'm enjoying the process, but I must admit there are some weeks where I'm like, not going to be able to get that done. And there have been some instances where I've had to film a couple of weeks ahead because I literally have got too much work on my plate to do them. But I'm absolutely determined I'm not going to fail at this challenge. It's only one challenge. It's only 1 year. I can do this. And you all seem to be enjoying it anyway. And I'm certainly enjoying it. It's making me think outside whatever box you want to call it. So I've had some interesting results. I mean, I'm kind of looking forward to the end of the challenge, just so I can then go back through and do a bit of a flip through of the entire planner or the entire book to see what each of the pages are. I feel that would just be interesting. Right. Okay, looking at this, I like the pink. I like all of the texts. I do think I need to bring something else in. I'm at that point where I think I need something else. Right? How many of these tags have got this fabric on? These 3 have. I could probably put a bit of fabric in there. Let's just play around with what I've got at the moment and see if I can utilize a few strips in strategic places, should we say. I don't want this video to go on too long, so I don't know about you, but more than an hour long for a video sort of pushes me over the edge and I tend to get bored. And then I tend to go, oh, what else have I got to watch? Or I'll stop watching, pause it, go and do something with every intention of coming back to it. And then I forget about it and then I never see the end of it and I don't realise I've not watched the whole thing. Until one day I'm going through my YouTube library and then I can see that I've only partially watched something and then I'll try and catch up. And by which time I've forgotten what the start of the video was like in the first place. So I try, as I said, not to do more than an hour. For me, that's crunch time. I mean, there are sometimes, breaking my own rule, where if I'm doing a collage spread in my art book, those really do take a little bit more time. So I tend to use those more than anything else. That sometimes gets to about an hour and a half, should we say. I think I'm going to pop that in there. Let's pop that over there. And then I think I might have to start considering looking in my box of scraps. So that's got music. That hasn't got music. That could have a piece of music there. There you go. Let's put the music there. Put it over there so I don't have that straight line all the way down there. Okay, where's the scrap box, Griffiths? I think I'm on plain scraps actually. I think we've had enough of printed material on here, so plain scraps. Bear with me with the grunting and the groaning as I stretch over. Right, not sure what's exactly in this box at the moment, so I don't want graph paper. Coffee dye we've got plenty of. Coffee dye with spots. I quite like the grunginess of that. I mean, it's a bit more of it. Let's leave that out. It's funny, I don't actually know what I'm looking for, but when I find it, I know it. Does that make sense to anyone? Is that how you do it? And certainly how I seem to do it. That's interesting. Let's leave that out. I think that was actually part of my jelly printing sessions. Everything goes to dye in this box. I throw things in here and sometimes I never go back to them. And then I'll find them years and years later. Oh, how gorgeous is that? I don't want to get some of that on there without destroying it. Some of these papers are so old, and where I've coffee dyed them once or twice, I may have accidentally left them in the oven a little long to dry. So they've scorched, which they look lovely, but goodness knows they're fragile. Right, let's not spend all the time looking through this. I think we'll stop there, put just to one side, and see what we've got to play with and how I feel about playing with that. Right, I really, really do love this fragile piece of paper. So let's see, that's just broken off. Let's see whether I can take pieces of this and add them in somewhere. Right, this little bit here needs to just flake off. Right, if I've got a dry piece of, yes I have. Let's give this a reasonably good coat of glue. And you can go in there. I think that'll be very much in keeping with what we're looking at. I wonder, I would want to use a tear ruler, but you can see this stuff just flakes directly off. I think if I tried using a tear ruler, it would be an absolute disaster. So let's see if I can just get it to tear naturally. I like that there. Right, every single time I do this, I'm going to have to use a new piece of book page for gluing, because the slightest bit of glue on the book page and this will stick and I will never get it off the page. Right, I like the idea of that running down there. Yeah, I think this is what I'm missing. I wanted something a little more grungy. After all, we're talking Toadstools and stuff. So let's see if I can just take the edge of this off without taking the whole of it off. So it's just flaking away. So you'll need trouble with things that we're always hunting for vintage finds and stuff like that, but sometimes the vintage finds just fall to pieces. I'm not going to use that now because it's completely dropping to pieces on me. Right, that's not going to work, is it? So dots can go back in the box. I did like this. Was this part of my dish chores? Can't remember what this was part of. I think that's not going to work either. I pulled out this green, didn't I? I think a little bit of green here and there is not going to go amiss. It'll add to the nature look of this set of journal cards. Oh, I should have got a clean book page. Come on, up you come. I can't get the page off. If you don't peel up, you will not go on there. There you go. Does anyone else talk to their craft? I do. I tell you what, if an analyst was listening or watching to my videos, they'd seriously sign me up for a psychiatric treatment. I'm always talking to tear rulers or glue sticks or guillotines or anything basically that demands my attention gets spoken to. So I don't know whether it's a habit actually because I make videos and we're constantly talking when we're doing a video, and I'm wondering whether it's from there or am I actually a bit crazy anyway. I don't mind being crazy. Crazy is almost the word creativity in my mind. So I'm going to stick with that. Right, where have I got gaps? Have I got gaps? I've got one little gap there. I think that's it, or one little gap there. So I'm going to add in a few more elements of this green because I'm liking what it's doing to the page currently. I like the pink and the green together. It's bringing a little more nature stroke life to this page. So there was a bit there, wasn't there? What I'm going to do, by the way, is before I go to the next stage, I'm going to rotate this around 360. So if you haven't been able to see one side of it, you will see the other side of it. I'm still at that point where I get very frustrated with my iPad because it doesn't show me what I'm seeing. Oh, well, it does show me what I'm seeing, but it doesn't show me the exact parameters of where my screen stretches to. So I'm always working, hoping that I'm still in shot. So, which sometimes I am and sometimes I'm not. And I know how frustrating that can be because obviously I watch YouTubes. So let's put that piece over there somewhere. I want to put that up there somewhere because I like the way that that goes next to that. Right. Do we think that's done? That and that might need something. Just maybe a thin strip here or there. So, oh, dropped on the floor. Come back, there you go. Yeah, again, it's a case of when you finish, do you know what I mean? That's one of my bugbears is I don't sometimes know when to stop. Or do I? It's one of those scenarios I never quite know if I've done enough. Let's see if I can get that one piece because I really fancy putting that there. Just to break, well, actually it's too close to that, isn't it? Put it in there though. Let's see if I've got a clean bit of the glue book. Well, I guess I didn't, but never mind, it'll go on here anyway. You can go in there. Right, that's bothering me and I'm trying to find something that is good enough for it. Maybe a really thin strip of green. I think, oh actually if I turn it around that way it'll please me better. I definitely need a bit of glue book. It's sticking to me all over the place, guys. Right. Actually, I'll do it this way up after all, because otherwise I'll have green next to green. So I think I'm going to call that completed at this stage. Just put the top on my glue stick, because obviously we've got quite a bit further to go with this. So if that's in the middle, so that's what it looks like that way. Let's turn this because then hopefully you'll get to see the whole thing. As I said, I do apologise. I can't work out why I can't see the actual parameters when I video. I'm planning on buying a new iPad this year, so because mine is sorely needing updating, and I'm hoping that's something that will correct itself in time. So I need to give this a little while to dry, and then what I'm going to do is when it's dry, I'm going to go in and I'm going to cut it back into its time cards and trim the odd edge off there. I won't go any further than that without turning the camera on, because then I'll come back in, I'll cut the angled corners, and then we'll see where we're at. And I don't know whether I'll then take a pause and stitch, or whether I'll create the tags and then stitch, or whether I won't stitch because they look good enough. So bear with me, I'll be back in a second. So here I'm back again. I've trimmed them all, I've cut them down. I haven't turned them over, so I don't know what the other side looks like, because to be honest with you, I like that surprise. Right, let's get them all in the right orientation if they're not already in that. Oh, they all are. Right. So let's turn them over and take a look, and then I'll go and trim the corners off. Okay, I like that one. That's cute. Not sure about the band across there, but there you go. I'll deal with that. That's a bit grungy. Liking that. That's a good place for something to be sat. Focal point. Yep, loving that. That one's got a lot of text on that one. There may be something having to go over that. That seems like a lot of text. That's cute. Pity that's upside down, but then do we care it's upside down? Not really, no. Again, like the nice colour combinations in there. These are bigger than the tags I normally do, so for me it's a little bit, see how I call that space, it's a little bit visual, to be honest with you. Okay, now I'm going to bring in the one that I created as a template. Now you don't need to do this, you can just eyeball and do as you wish, but I need these tags to be all the same, so hence a template's a good idea for me. Let's put them to one side. Now the decision will be, do I coffee dye and sew the edges on screen, or do I do them off screen and then come back to you with them already done? I don't want to bore you, and I don't want this video to be hugely long. I think that's my main concern, to be honest with you. So what I'll do is I might do one of them with the vintage photo. I don't know where the hole reinforcers are. I didn't plan that far ahead, people. Wonder whether I can see them directly. Let me have a quick look in these tins. I have lots of these tins, and this is where I store everything. Oh, hole reinforcers, there you go. Right, we'll use those. That was quicker than I thought. And where's my hole punch? Where are you, Mr. Hole Punch? There you go, I've got you. Right, so I'm just gonna, I'll do one of these. Let's do this one, okay? Because then I'll do all the others off screen now. 2 inches, so it's about there. Gives me a hole in that. Now, let's see if I've got any of these shaded down. Come out of that. Right. Let's take some of these off here. Now, something I like to do, and I'm not the only one who does this, is I like my hole reinforcers to not be white. So I'm going to take distressing vintage photo, which most of us use, and I'm just going to go across the top of the white ones. Now, because they're meant to be hole reinforcers, I won't need to put any glue on the back of these because the glue is quite sticky on hole reinforcers. It's not very often I lose a hole reinforcer. So let's put that there, take that out of the way, bring that over. So just pop these out. I always find the hole reinforcers just add that little touch of character to it. Makes it look vintage without it being vintage. So that's front and back, and then let's get the vintage photo in, and I'm just going to go around the edges just to give it a bit of depth of character, should we say. Now you don't need to do this stage, and you don't need to do this stage in vintage photo. There are definitely other colours out there that work. There's, what's it called, coffee. There's a coffee coloured one that I sometimes use. I can't remember the name of the brown that I normally use. Sepia, I think it's called sepia. I sometimes use that, but that's an archival. It's not a distress ink. But there's no reason why you can't use it for doing the edges, which is what I do sometimes. Okay, so that gives our tag a bit more character. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the video now, or pause the video now, should I say, and I'm going to do this to all of these. Then I'm going to go in and I'm going to sew around them all, because I said I wanted to sew around them. Obviously, all of those are optional choices, and then when I come back, we'll do some decorating. So here I am back again, guys. I'm glad I actually did that off camera because it took me a little bit longer than I anticipated. But I did vintage photo all of them, and I sewed around all of the edges ready to go. So next will only be the fun bit to go. So as you can see, I did black on the front, and they did a nice terracotta colour on the back as far as threads go. Now I did say there are rubber stamps out there if you wanted to do these with rubber stamps. I'm not sure I've got one to hand to show you, but this is what they look like. As you can see, just that's vintage shadow. I can't speak. that vintage photo around the edges actually does bring a bit more character to them as well as the stitching. Let me have a quick look in my rubber stamp box. I've got a feeling I might be able to find... Okay, this isn't all one kit, but this gives you an idea. I mean, obviously one of these sets is from Stamperia. I don't know which is the Stamperia set. I think that might be the Stamperia set actually. And this is another set. But what I do when I actually get rubber stamps is I actually group them together. I don't keep them all separate. So that's the reason why I don't always know what stamp set belongs to what. Let's see if this gives me a bit of a clue. Yeah, the red rubber ones are obviously Stamperia. Let's see if this has got a print out. No, it hasn't. Okay, I don't have the name of the other one. I obviously bought it somewhere. No idea where it is. But as I said, if you just look up rubber stamping and put stitches in, you'll probably get 2 or 3 different variations. Should you not have the adaptation of a sewing machine near you anyway. The other thing you could do is you could take a really fine marker. This is a number 3. Yes, number 3, a number 3 or a number 5, and actually just draw stitches down the edges. At the end of the day, there's a way around everything. So let's see what I've done. So I've got those ready to go. So what else did I bring in? I've got the stickers, the butterfly stickers, ready to go. I've got all of the Toadstool stuff from Tracie ready to go. I actually pulled in Tracie's little labels too because I thought they'd be the perfect match for this. This isn't just one digital kit. This is, I want to say field notes, and the other one might be samples or something. So when you're actually on the Love Junk Journals Etsy store page, make sure you have a flick through and see any of the other labels she's got. Tracie does a great job with labels. So that's there. What else did I bring in? I bought in my ephemera book, which has got some stuff in it. Not sure whether I'll use any of it, but I thought if I don't have it to hand, I'll be looking for it. I actually pulled in my Tim Holtz people. Not that I can see a Tim Holtz person being on here, but again, if I don't pull it in, I'm sure I'll need it. I've pulled some old book page in because I've got a feeling that I might want to use book page. I pulled in one of my date stamps as well because I like numbers on things. The 2 colours I pulled in was the sepia and the black because I thought we don't want to make too many different colours on here. I also pulled in a couple of MAKI stamps because I thought these are butterflies which will then match with those butterflies, and these are the mushroom stamps that they've got, the large and the medium, or medium and the small. I thought those might be something that would be in the background. Not sure. I'm playing around with that idea. Obviously acrylic block. What else have I got here? Just pulled in a little tub that I've got all my sari silks in and stuff like that. I don't intend putting a topper on any of these, but I might want to put a bit of a faux ruffle down it. And I picked up just a handful of fabrics and laces and threads and stuff, because as with everything, I don't actually know what I'm planning on doing. There you go, that doesn't belong in there, does it? So we could use some of it, we could use all of it, we could use none of it. So let's start. Let's go straight off the top of the tag. So immediately, I like that tag. Anyway, I'm thinking this is quite a colourful tag. Let's see what I've got that will fit. Well, before I do anything, do I want a toadstool? I might want a toadstool, but let's see what we've got in the stickers. See, I like that because that's already got the colours in it I like. So I like it a bit smaller. That's the other good thing about these stickers too, is they're not just the one size. Well, and that's got hints of it in as well. Right, let's narrow it down a little bit then. Let's put those back in there. So I don't mind that there, but it seems like I'm trying to cover something up. I do quite like that there. I feel that there does need to be a something there. Pity the rounded bit wasn't at the top because it worked perfectly there. So I think I'm going to go with this one. What else do I want to put on here? I do want maybe one of these. I think these are the field notes, to be honest, these ones. I don't mind that. Is that a bit red? looks a bit too contrived. What other colours are in this butterfly? Browns mainly. Well, that's quite a nice and natural history one. Let's put that over there. Now, these are actually just on cardstock. They're not on label stickers. I wish I actually had put them on label stickers when I did them. But me being me, obviously, I didn't think that far ahead. Right, that's all looking a bit too lined up for me. I'm having second thoughts about this sticker, because I'm seeing a smaller one over there. Decisions. This isn't going to be easy, is it, guys? Let's go back to these again. I did like that. Is it because it was in the wrong place? I'm liking that, but I'm trying to make it fit, if that makes sense. It goes over there. No, I like that over the top of there. I feel there needs to be something else on this. Let's put those by. Let's put them in the right tin, Griffiths. Right, is it this that's bothering me? Is that what it is? Do I need to immediately go in one of those, maybe? Maybe let's do it. I mean, at the end of the day, they're my tags, and if they work, they work. If they don't, they don't. Right, let's take that. I think, though, I don't want to do it black. So I'm going to do it the sepia colour. Now, I don't actually mind if it's not a perfect print, or a perfect stamp, should I call it. So let's go in now. It's a bit tricky because I'm looking through an iPad, so let's pray that I've got that straight. Put it on there. Few seconds rule, just to make sure it's all done and dusted. Actually, that's quite nice. Let's print off the excess. So that gives me a bit more interest now. Now I'm happier with that. It's funny because I almost immediately know where I want to put stuff now. I think I do want something up there, but I think this is too big. I think I want to go for some of her little stickers. Maybe this is the thing that's wrong. That might work. I'm drawn to the red colour, and I don't know why I'm drawn to the red colour. That looks just a little bit overpowering, doesn't it? Oh, I don't mind that. And if I put that there and put that up there, I think we may have done that. Right, let's put that back. Let's get something on this thing before I actually lose the plot. Okay, I'm just going to do a little bit of vintage photo on the edge of the elements, because otherwise they will really stick out, whereas everything else has already been vintage photoed. We need to at least stay within the theme, should we say. So let's just give that a little bit of a grunge. And this will cover up my bad cutting skills. Why is it I can't cut a circle? I cut an oval, but I can't cut a circle. Interesting. So let's do that, that and that. So let's just put the label down first, because the label is going to be the easy one to do. Says he, hopefully. I'm terrible at peeling the backs off labels. Right, so let's take that out of the way. I think I want that about there. Let's get the glue book on the go. Have I put the glue by there? I wonder, I've just seen that upwards. Actually, you know what? I'm going to be brave. I'm going to go vertically with this one. Let's do it that way. It feels more natural to me to be going that way. And then I want the little field notes just as an accent piece at the bottom. Let's press it down so I don't get sticky fingers all over the place. Now, where was the other? Didn't I have another tag somewhere? I've already stuck it. Oh, I meant that to be up there, didn't I? Oh no, there it is. See, you can't trust me. Put something down, I'll lose it immediately. And I like that just as a little afterthought in the top corner. Now, for me, this still feels like it's missing something. Does it need a little bit of something in the corner maybe? That's not it. I can absolutely assure you that's not it. Maybe not. Why is it I can't hear you guys? Because you're probably all shouting at me that you know what it is. Actually, I don't mind that. Let's take that little bit off there. I don't think there is an up and a, oh, there is an up and a down on this. Don't like that. Not sure. I'm going to put this one to one side and we'll revisit it because I'm not 100% certain that one's finished yet. Let's pull in the next tag. Next tag, right. I like the brightness of this and I'm already seeing this and going, that fits perfectly in there. And I love that already. Do I want to do more than one? I actually don't mind more than one. Let's put some vintage photo on these stickers, just to frame them out a bit. And this, remember, was the middle of the Matchbox that I cut out. And this was supposed to be on the Matchbox as well, but I chose not to use it. I chose to use it as a label. Is there anything else I want on here for a start? I like that, that and that. I think I'm going to use my date stamp. And I think I'm going to do it in black. It's right by there. Feels like it needed something. And right by there, felt like it needed something. I picked this up on eBay. It was just a date stamp. And for some reason I must have pressed the button twice because I ended up with two of them. So there you go. That's me having a moment with internet. So, right, let's stick these down. A lot of the time when people do tags, they will put lace behind things or things to add extra texture. I tend to avoid that on purpose when I'm doing tags ahead of time, because if I don't know where the tag is going to go, I don't know how much room I'm going to have for the tag. And if I keep adding things to the width and the depth of it, I may end up not being able to fit it into a pocket or something. So that's why you'll find I don't add a lot of extra textural things to them if they're not being made for a specific item. Okay, now I know I'm really bad at taking labels off their backing, so what I tend to do, and this doesn't always work guys, but it works a lot of the time, is I'll press a bit of sticky tape to the back, and then that helps me, normally helps me, peel away the top edge. As I told you, I'm really bad at these. And if this doesn't work, I'm just going to stick glue on it and stick it down. See, I just can't get the ends off. Everyone else seems to be fine with these except me. I just can't, I can't seem to do them. And I know it's label paper, heck, I printed it. Right, label paper or not, I'm just sticking it down. There's a point at which my patience will not be dealing with this anymore. And if it peels off, I'll just re-stick it onto its backing paper later. So, there you go. So that's that. Now, do I need anything else on there? I actually do think I need something else on there. Again, we're going to put this one in the parking lot and come back to it in a minute, because there's something there that it needs, but I don't know what it is yet. Okay, right, let's pull in another one of these. This one's quite a nice one. Right, well, they're all quite nice ones, but this one's quite a nice one as well. Right, I'm liking the idea of putting a stamped element down the side there. Again, it's mushrooms. Let's take that off that stamp block. Onto this stamp block, what colour should we do? Let's do sepia again, because we've got the black already on there. Again, not looking for a perfect print unless it decides it wants to be a perfect print for me. Or perfect stamp, should I say. Gosh, it is so hot here, guys. Absolutely so hot. Actually, that's quite nice. Nice little bit of detailed element in there. What do I want to do on this one? I like the mushrooms. Let's stay liking the mushrooms. Something I like to do is normally group things in threes, and I'm wondering whether it would look silly if I had 3 of those down one side. Yes, it would look very silly down one side. Oh, look, they've got one that way as well. That would work. I can deal with that. Right, let's just get some vintage photo on the edges of this and see if I get the back off this label. This is when it doesn't pay to be a woman, because it doesn't pay to be a man, because I don't have fingernails. Come on, I know you want to do it. Yeah, I can see you happening. Come on. If anyone has a trick, please let me know. My sellotape trick normally works. Let's try it again on here. It's just because you're all watching me, that's what it is. There you go. See, my sellotape trick worked that time. Why didn't it work last time? So I'm going to pop you in over there. So I like the way you look by there. Sorry, I'm just looking through my ephemera book over to the left, guys. Only because if I put it in the middle of the page, we'll never see anything. Tickets. Why don't I use some tickets? That would be a good idea. Brown tickets. Yeah, let's put a couple of tickets in there. Or a couple of 3 tickets, should we call it. 3 might work. Right, okay, we're liking 3. Let's get that stuck down. Just a little bit of the old vintage on here to take off the freshness of those. And then come in with the old glue stick. I just hope the holes in the tickets don't eat up my glue stick too badly. No, they didn't appear to. Right, I can live with that going up there. Okay, liking that. It does need something. It looks like it might need a label. No, not that one anyway. I think I'm having one of those days, guys, where, you know, sometimes things just, I like that. Sometimes things just don't work for you. I think I'm having one of those indecisive days where the brain has just decided it's too hot, it's not going to work anymore. But sometimes you don't have the option to stop, you just have to keep on going. And sometimes in those times you keep on going, you do your best work. So I'm not saying this is my best work by any way, shape or form. Right, I'm looking, thinking maybe I want to have a look and see whether I've got a Tim Holtz little person or a little child or a girl or a boy or something that would sit itself in there. Actually, I didn't mean sit literally, but actually he does sit literally, doesn't he? I think I'm going to put him there. Good for you, kiddo. Don't know who you are. I think from now on you will be called Arthur. Okay, Arthur? Yeah, I'm still talking to the craft parts. Right, where's the Fabri-Tac gone, I think, for this one? Actually, Art Little Glue might be a better option for this. It'll grip it quicker. So I do like the paper dolls that Tim Holtz has done, but I do have to be very cautious because by nature I'm one of those people who, if I buy one of something, I have to buy the entire set of something. So by nature, I want to buy every single one of Tim Holtz's sets of vintage dolls. And that would be a bad idea, because I can absolutely assure you, I'd have them everywhere and they're the only thing I would ever use. I wasn't going to put toppers on there, but I quite like the look of this, to be honest. And I quite like the fact that the one end is absolutely frayed to heck and back. Right, let's double it over. Pop that through. Actually, it's a bit long, isn't it? Let's just snip it off. Hold back everything I said about loving the fringing bit. But I won't throw that fringing bit out because that could be a really interesting element on one of the other ones, but we're going to save that. So there you go. I'm going to call that one done. I actually quite like that. That didn't take long ago. He's got a ticket to ride to buy mushrooms from the National History Museum. How does that go? Right, okay, let's move on. Let's see if we could do another butterfly one now. Right, okay. Butterfly's obviously down there. I thought there was a vertical set of stickers of butterflies in here somewhere. I'm almost certain there is. There it is. Right. So that. I don't mind that. I don't mind layering stuff up. I'm quite happy layering stuff up. Again, let's come in with a label. Now, where was that? There it is. I think if I do something like that, that pleases me, and then I'll work out what goes there in a moment. So let's just, well, this is still on its label paper, give it a bit of character around the edge. This definitely needs a bit of distress on this one. It's far too clean and pretty. Now I'm looking at this thinking I quite fancy a little bit of this book page that I've got hanging around. So I think if I take some of this, let's take the top off. Take it down to about there. I nearly threw that in the bin then. I will lose my crafter's junk journaling badge if I throw out scraps. They'll hunt me down, they'll tell me I'm wrong. And you're right, I am wrong. Don't throw a scrap out, it can always be useful in the future. Okay, right, let's get this piece down. Hopefully all of this is still in shot. So I'm liking the fact that that can go down there, and I need it to be relatively straight. I'd rather leave the stitching open to exposure. I wanted this on first, didn't I? Actually, no, I didn't. I wanted this on first. My gut instinct was right. See, I can't get flipping labels off paper when there's an edge to grab. That's down there. Hopefully that's straight-ish. Is that straight? I think it is. Let's pick up my other one of these. That can go there. And take this over one. Yay, I got it off the paper. And that can sit there. That label doesn't look like it's the straightest thing in the world, does it? Probably not. Okay, does that mean I have to try and correct it in some way? Let's just try something. It's funny because, as some of you may or may not know, I'm a cake decorator as well as a crafter, and we always say in the cake decorating world, if something goes wrong, put a butterfly on it. With me in the crafting world, it's something goes wrong, stick a book page on it. So see if I can just create a little more balance there. I don't know why I feel the need to do that, but I struggle when it comes to looking through an iPad to craft, but I find if I'm not looking through the iPad to craft, I can't really craft very well, for the simple reason I can't see what's going on. Okay, liking that, know that something has to go up there. That's the wrong colour. Actually, I've done verticals all the way along. How about a vertical? That looks like a very full tag to me. I'm wondering whether we should put this one in the waiting pile as well. Actually, no, I don't mind that. That's okay, let's put that one on there. Let's get a bit of glue on the back of this one. There you go, I don't mind that. That's interesting, when it's in the right journal, that'll look fabulous. Right, I think we're going to do one more and that will round out to 5. Let's see if we can tell a bit of a story with this lady. So she wanders the field doing entomology. So I need something that says insects or entomology on it. And I know I've got an insect sign there, but I thought I saw another one in here too that I liked. I'm pulling that one out just in case I don't see the one I'm looking for. Insectory, that's what I was looking for. Oh, caterpillars. Ooh, okay, let's have a think about either of those. Right, I pulled that one out. That one I think is too big. Insectory. I think insectory works for me. Maybe everyone was a giant caterpillar there. Yeah, don't do that, it would scare the children. I wonder what you're going to do. If I put you so that she covers up the bird. No, not going to work. Oh, I'm really struggling today, guys. I have no idea what's wrong with me. Normally this bit's the easy bit. Right, let's put that down. Let's just get this on the page because I think I can't truly see it until it's actually in place. I'm wondering whether I want a bit of book page on here as well. Because if she's standing there, maybe she needs something to stand up against. Something to anchor her down, as it were. Here and there, I don't want that tall. I don't want to cover up all of the lovely digitals I've just spent the time putting down, but I don't mind covering up my own papers, but I don't want to cover up those are lovely. Right, let's put that down on the page. Again, give it a bit of a vintage photo. Let's get this stuck down. And hope to goodness that's straight. The bane of my life, is it straight? In fact, I'm not the only person, because I know several other people go, oh, is that straight? And I hear it in videos all the time. We're always trying to get it straight, but we're never, because there's always a camera involved, we're never actually able to look at our pieces of work flat screen on, if that makes sense. Which is probably why I try to do it through looking through the iPad, because that way at least I've got some sort of perspective, but it doesn't always work. Right, oh, she's got a little bit in there, I need to pop out. There you go. So a little bit of art glitter glue on here. Just hold that down. And I don't mind you there, lady. Right, okay, I'm feeling the love for that now. I do feel she needs something. Oh, birds, where did they come from? I do feel she needs something there, but I think what I want to do is go back to the ones I put in the parking lot and come back to her. So we've already got 2 that are finished. So let's have a little look. This one. Now, did I actually like this or not like this? It's obviously got a gaping flaw right in the middle there. It needs something. I don't know what it needs. Maybe I don't mind that. Let's see how that looks like. Bit of edging on it. This is actually a label that I made, so not a digital, just a label. I don't mind that. I think I'm going to put that down. And I don't mind it going all the way to the edge of the tag. I feel that's done. Let's put that to there, just have a quick look at this. Okay, the more I look at this, the more I think it actually is done. I can't imagine I need to populate those. I think that's just me trying to fill in a space. So that will be classed as done. We're back to this young lady now. Now I think this one probably does need something down here. Now I was saying earlier on that the offcuts I keep, I actually stamp stuff on, and actually here's a really good example because that might work quite well there. Not saying that's the right piece, but that's what I do with the spare bits of offcut papers. Actually there's some butterfly ones down here too. And out you come. So let's pull all of this out the way because I'm feeling a bit claustrophobic here. There's too many things on this desk. I'm being encroached upon. Okay, so let's have a quick look at these because, as I said, these are the little stamping pieces I sometimes do. That was kind of calling to me. Because remember, this is an insectory, so it's not necessarily just butterflies. Right, those are all the same butterfly. That's the same, but I must have had a day of just tearing up butterflies. Wonder whether it's because this has got straight edges. I don't like this. Let's just tear that down. So hopefully you're still with me, or I'm not sat here talking to myself. So I've got very gluey fingers now. I think if I put a bit of vintage on the edge of that, I'm going to have very brown fingers when I finish this. No, it's not working for me, guys. That one is just not working for me. Let's put those over to one side. Let's just try one of these. I know they're really big. Nope, those aren't going to work either. I know it's a random shot, but I wonder where the potion number. Curiouser and curiouser. I think that actually. I know it hasn't got a torn side, but no one says it has to have a torn side. I'll put that down before I change my mind. I think I'm going to call that it. I don't want to be messing around with that one anymore. And if you can see what I can see on my desk, you'd be cringing because I'm like, this has got to be cleaned up, people. I can't work in clutter. It sort of gets me almost panicky. So let's just tidy these little tins away. Give us some room to actually look at what we've created. Whether we like it, hate it, love it, whatever. See if there is anything I'm not keen on, whether I can do anything about it. Which at this point I'm not sure I can. So where are they? Okay, so that one I decided I did quite like in the end, left as it was. That one I liked to start with. He worked for me straight away. This one, I like that. That pop of yellow just brought that into play. And then we've got her, the entomologist. I'm still unsure about her, but you know what? You can't win them all. And I may come back to her tomorrow morning and then go, why didn't I put that on there? Actually, why don't I put... I'm wondering whether... I don't know, it feels like it needs a texture of some sort, guys, and I'm really struggling because I can't work out what the texture is that it needs. So I think I'm going to leave that here for now. Anyway, the whole point of this video was to introduce you to the digital downloads that I'd actually used for all of these tags, and I did that hopefully very well. We had Love Junk Journals, which was the Matchbox Minis Toadstools. We had Cinnamon Tea, which was 1907 recipes, and Cinnamon Tea 1890s vintage prescriptions. We also had MAKI Stamps, the butterflies, caterpillars and paper stickers, which I love those paper stickers. So sorry it's been a bit of a disjointed one off me. Some days you have a good day, some days you have a not so good day, and today I think I'm just too hot. It's absolutely sweltering here. So hopefully it gives you some ideas anyway. So social media links, as always, love you to like me, share me, subscribe to me, whatever. It would be lovely to hear from you. Also, if you've used any of these, please let me know in the comments. It'd be nice to see what you've done, if I could drop onto your channel and see what you've done. And this is Ceri the Crafter signing off. That's Ceri the Crafter. Until next time, bye-bye now.